What's up, dudes? Max here. Before we jump into the video, I wanted to let you know of today's sponsor, which is NZXT, as they're about to start up some of their holiday deals. NZXT has been my close to 5-year gaming PC sponsor, and their rigs have had substantial impact on my content creation and streaming quality. Now is possibly the best time to get a new gaming rig filled with all the latest tech, and the deals are daily leading up to the annual Black Friday sale on November 24th. NZXT likes to keep it simple with their build program, top-end class components, and transparent pricing, and also backed by a 2-year warranty. Choose your parts or select from exclusive custom builds that also feature the WD Black storage for accelerated low latency gameplay. Don't miss out on these exclusive deals from NZXT, as their Black Friday sale is happening right now at nzxt.com, and if you want to check out the Black Friday sale directly, you can go down to the video description below where you'll see a link to check it out yourself. Anyway, now that I've gotten that out of my goddamn system, let's actually look at this list and see what's going on, because man, game of the year. Oh, I told Steve this was gonna happen. Steve was like, a plague what? Damn! Who did Simmons have to get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on here? And I don't say it doesn't deserve it, but who did Simmons have to because it did not seem like Xeno was gonna get any big nods in anything, and even Simmons seemed very beholden to that, where he's just like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Xenoblade's gonna get snuffed all over again, just like it did last time. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, huh. Horizon? Poor Horizon. I mean, this is the game in any other year, right? In any other game, these two friggin' games weren't here. Horizon would absolutely have taken Game of the Year in a show like this. Absolutely. It's happening again. It's happening all over again. Happened to Horizon 1. Came out the same year as Breath of the Wild. Fucked. Just completely fucked. Horizon gets shafted 5 years later again. This game was great. I think it was genuinely a fantastic experience. I don't know if it's Game of the Year, but it was great. And Plague Tale I haven't beaten, but I've seen a lot of it, and it's genuinely good. The big eternal battle, the two meteors crashing, that is Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok, is going to take place at this Game Awards. And which game do I think is going to come out on top? This one. I think nothing stops Elden Ring. And once again, Simmons had a great point about this. God of War is truly a fantastic game so far from what I've played. Like, I might not even be halfway through. Truly is fantastic. It's just an improvement of the original God of War in like a ton of ways. But it very much echoes the Doom Eternal aspect, where Doom Eternal is a better game than Doom 2016 almost in like every single way. Almost in every single way. Like gameplay wise, absolutely. Like how the hell can you go back to Doom 2016 after playing Doom Eternal? You feel like, oh my god, I can't even do anything in this game. It's just basic shooting. And that's the way God of War 1 feels after this game. It really feels like, oh my god, how do I go back to God of War 1? The weird thing is that Doom Eternal, while it did get absolutely high accolades in the exact same way as God of War Ragnarok, I don't think it's going to have the impact that God of War 1 had, and if not Doom 2016 had, because those games by themselves were new, right? They were introducing a new concept for a franchise that had not been done before, and it was all super fresh, and I never felt like this before. There's all this weird shit that's happening. Oh man, it feels so good. I'm rocking out. I'm being a dad. You know, there was so many things that are like absolutely permeating in your head because it's the first time you experience them, and then Doom Eternal comes out, and it's just everything that's better. Everything is better in Doom Eternal, but for some reason it doesn't stick with you as much as Doom 2016. You can acknowledge that it's better. I acknowledge almost everything in this game is just better. But I think God of War 1 might have a bigger impact on people just because of the way it was released, being a new thing. That's not going to be the same for everybody, right? This game, and I don't think that that's fair. I think this arguably might be an actual better game than Elden Ring. But here's the thing, and here's the funny situation about Game of the Year this year. Elden Ring is new, but it's also old as shit. Elden Ring does promote new things when it comes down to the urgency of the Souls-like genre, right? It does introduce things that have not been done before in ways and in concepts that actually change the way you think about kind of open world games in some way. And then also is an expansion, if not maybe a twist on what a Souls-like game kind of is. But here's the issue with it. Elden Ring is just 10 years of Souls shit crammed into one game. right? It just is. There is so much old shit in here that it's fucking insane. And the only way they can make this feel new was to just take everything we've been doing since Demon Souls and shove it into one game. Cram it all into there. This is practically like Souls All-Stars, and it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. There are things that are way better. You can fucking jump. There's a horse. There is huge environment and traversals and all this stuff too. Like there's a lot of things that are very new about this. But I think the thing that makes Elden Ring stand out above the others, it does not feel just like Dark Souls 4, right? It definitely feels like, okay, they're going for something different. In fact, would this be better if they made like a Dark Souls game like this? Do you want another Bloodborne game like Elden Ring? And I'm like, no! Oh God, no! No. Do we make another Souls game and make it just like Elden Ring? No! Please no. Elden Ring is Elden Ring, practically a new subgenre of the Souls franchise now. In fact, Elden Ring 2 is the only thing that I would want to be like Elden Ring. I don't want anything else to be like that. No. If they're working on an Armored Core game or anything like that, like a Robo Souls, a Mecha Souls, no. I don't want that to be Elden Ring. Please don't make that big and open world. Some people might say otherwise, but I think that's what makes Elden Ring special. That is now this franchise. Elden Ring is now the big, crazy, open world, big zones. You go to these things, you do the stuff, it's got open worlds. Yeah, I get it, right? But if it came to any of the other franchises, if they were to get brand new things, no, go back to the old wide linear aspect that made those games great. In that way, Elden Ring is new enough, right? In that way, Elden Ring did innovate enough on the franchise and the concepts the series has promoted before in ways that were crazy and different and wild. And that's why it took so long for it to come out. So I got to give him credit. I think Elden Ring deserves Game of the Year still. I really do. That playthrough, my first playthrough was 170 fucking hours, and I was seeing consistently brand new shit and engaging the game in weird and different ways for like 110 to 115 hours. To the point where I was just exploring and revisiting and doing all this other shit, right? It's a huge game where you get 100+ hours of like being introduced to new stuff. It's crazy. I think that impact on reviewers, that impact on the audience as a whole. Also, Elden Ring has just passed like 17 million sales or something like that. It's substantial, dude. This game is going to be huge. So I think it's definitely going to win Game of the Year in this way. Best game direction based on my limited information and knowledge, right? Because I haven't obviously played all of these games. I think this goes to probably Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok gets it a little bit more because it's a bit more cohesive. I haven't played Immortality, but I have played Strayed, and I've obviously played a little bit of Horizon. In my personal take, I think Ragnarok probably takes this, but once again, I'm super familiar with so many games on here. Stray is good, but I don't think it deserves like the best of the year in these categories. Best narrative. Damn, there's a very similar shit here. Astounding storytelling and a narrative development in a game. That's probably going to Ragnarok. I don't think we need to talk about anything else in this scenario. Fuck yeah! Fucking Scorn boys! Fuck yeah! Scorn better win this shit. Too scorny, too horny. Fuck yeah, Scorn is in here? To be completely honest, I think Scorn kind of deserves it. I think these games all have amazing, and this game has amazing art direction, but Scorn executes in a way that is mind-blowing. I think Scorn, for what Scorn was aiming to do, and the fact that they were able to mimic H.R. Giger's art style that much, I don't know, man. I almost would... Even though I have played this, and this game, I might actually give this to Scorn. So much the art direction of Scorn is like 90% that fucking game, at the absolute behest of other things that should have taken more priority. Other things should have taken more priority, like gameplay and puzzle solving and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of an actual art direction and the execution of it, I don't know, man. I might actually, that's a weird take. I might actually give it to Scorn because it's all art direction. They put all their money into the art direction. So you're saying God of War has bad art? Shitty art. The worst. Look at this shit. I cannot believe it. This is a 2D image. I thought this was a 3D game. God of War has shitty art. Look at this Elden Ring thing over here. What is even happening? Look at this lady. I can't even see her other hand. Look at this fucking cat. And then you got Scorn. Shit. Look at this Scorn thing. Look at him. Scorn should win Best Art Direction. Best Score in Music? Just fucking let Simmons have his goddamn, just let Simmons have his fucking game. Just give Simmons the award. Just invite Simmons to the Game Awards and he will go up and accept the award. He'll just accept the award on behalf of Yasunori Mitsuda, right? It's his goddamn life's journey. Just let Simmons have his Xeno shits, right? This is the one category that absolutely it should likely win. Just give Simmons his Xeno shits, for fuck's sake. Just let him have it. That means that means that the music of all of these games is terrible and it sucks. Next, best audio design. Okay, it's probably gonna go to Gran Turismo 7. I don't know what should deserve this. I really don't. But I think GT7's probably gonna take it, right? There's a certain, I never played it, but I assume when you have to buy like a $40 to $50 to $60 to $70 real life car in this game, like a real life money buying a virtual car, I'm sure that there's a fantastic jingle or dring thing that happens that makes people have to buy more cars, right? I'm assuming that that part is so good that when you buy DLC for this game, it makes the most amazing fucking jingle, and then suddenly you're like, oh yeah, oh I gotta go buy a car. Fuck. I think Gran Turismo 7 will probably win this. Best performance. Did Christopher Judge win for God of War 1? He didn't, did he? Red Dead won, Arthur won. Okay, so I think based on that, this is likely going to go to Mr. Kratos. I think that's where this will likely land. I'm just gonna say what I think is going to win from this point in case that wasn't clear. Games for impact. Which games had the most girth? I'm gonna say this one wins. Dusk Falls. Everyone was saying very good things about it. Best ongoing game. I mean, did FF14 win last year? Last year was the year of Shadowbringers, dude. It should go to Final Fantasy 14. I'm gonna make a wild guess that it goes to like Genshin Impact or some shit. I don't know where this would go. I don't. Best indie. You see, I've played these two games, but I think it's actually going to go to this game. To me, this is the most indie game in the fucking world, right? I think Cult of the Lamb like screams indie as shit. It really is asking for it. I think other games I might actually pick them over it, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to go to Cult of the Lamb. Do I want that? I don't, but I think that's where it's going to land. Best mobile game. Best community support. Game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive in social media activity and game updates. What the fuck? I mean, I guess this is kind of neat that, you know, community devs are getting sort of a nod. I would like to think it goes to No Man's Sky, right? Because No Man's Sky is actually like a great game now. Like they didn't stop. They kept going. And from what I understand, it doesn't have a ridiculous amount of DLC or any of that crazy shit that they easily could have done. No, they didn't do that. They won last time. I see. Yeah, it felt like they got a decent accolade at some point before. I have no fucking idea. Best community support? I have no clue. Let's go with Density 2. Innovation in accessibility. Probably is going to go to God of War Ragnarok. Probably. Last of Us 1 had a lot of accessibility options too. Probably is going to go to God of War. Best VR AR. Amugasphere. It's going to go to Amugasphere. I think so. Best action game. I haven't beaten it yet, but something seems fucking off here, bro. Bro, what? Something seems amiss. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sifu, Neon White, Bayonetta 3, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? One of these things is not like the others. Yeah. Here's the sad part. This is likely to win. It's very likely to win. But what the fuck is this category? What the hell? I want Bayonetta 3 to win, and because this game was great and this game was great, and I've heard a lot of great things about this game. But I think Bayonetta 3 is genuinely great. The best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. What the fuck are we... What? It makes even less sense. It makes even less sense. There should be best shooter. It just should be best shooter. Next, best action adventure. Well, that's going to Ragnarok. I think this is probably going to go to God of War. Best role-playing game. Oh, that... I am sorry, Xenoshits. We gave you... Simmons got one, right? But this is being put against Elden fucking Ring, which is also an RPG. It definitely is. I'm sorry, Xenoshits. It's just not... If it was any other year where this was like, I don't know, some Tales game or some shit, and you have all these other games and then this game, right? Then Xenoshits is gonna take it. But the problem is Elden Ring came out in 2022, so I'm pretty sure it's going to Elden Ring. Best family game. This game fucking sucked. It'll probably go to Splatoon 3 or Lego Star Wars. This Switch sports game fucking sucked, man. Couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. There was like 4 out of 5 or 5 actual mini games, and that was it. And like only a few of them were actually good. Oh my God, I was legit pissed. We were looking forward to this. It lasted us half a night. Where's Scorn? Best sim / strategy. Best sports or racing. Best multiplayer. That is obviously... Jesus. Activision or Activision. It's nice that a fighting game is in here, right? What is this going to go to? It's probably not going to go to Overwatch 2. I think it's actually going to be either between Splatoon 3 or Modern Warfare 2. The nice, the very nice upset here would be TMNT. Because it's like 4-player couch online co-op, you know? TMNT would be a nice upset. Best content creator of the Nibalian. He sacrificed his soul for the better of us. If he doesn't win, the entire thing is rigged, and we blame all the creators. Best debut indie. Oh, man. Debut indie? I think Vampire Survivor has to win this, right? That's just my take. You know, I think this game screams even more indie than any of these. I didn't play Norco, right? I've seen Tunic, I've seen Neon White, obviously played Stray. But Vampire Survivor really felt like it was like made by a dude in a garage and is fun as fuck. Yeah, and now it's like spun off like a huge subgenre of Vampire Survivor likes, where people are just launching these Vampire Survivor like games like suddenly. So now it's just created an actual genre. I think Stray is great, but Stray, like, as much as it is indie, it's a pretty big fucking game, man. Like, Stray's got some... I get it, it is classified as an indie, but it's really has some backing to it. Like, it feels like it's made by a lot of people, and it kind of is. Unless I'm wrong. Maybe it's one guy working really hard in a garage. Yeah, Annapurna's kind of big. This, I don't know, man. I would say I think Vampire Survivor takes this. What the fuck? Oh, is this a new category? It is, because I'm like, Arcane wasn't this year, was it? Like, no way. Uncharted wasn't this year, was it? Either way, either between Cyberpunk or Arcane, you know? That's a toss-up. This is new hotness. This is last year hotness, right? I don't know. I'm just going by what I think is going to happen, right? Based on what has happened in the past, what I think is going to happen, I think it'll likely go to Arcane. I can't tell you the exact reasons why. I haven't seen the entirety of any of these things, believe it or not. I haven't seen the entirety of any of them, but I just think it's probably going to go to Arcane. Most anticipated game. Ah, man. It goes to Zelda, Tears of My Ass after eating Taco Bell. It definitely is going to go to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom. Nobody actually knows yet. We haven't heard a developer say what it is. Nobody knows. It could be a tear. It could be a tear. For me, I would say it's fucking... It's definitely a coin toss between 16 and 4, right? Definitely a coin toss between Final Fantasy 16 and Resident Evil 4. I think either one of those games I'm pretty equally excited about. But the crazy part, yeah, here's the crazy snub. No Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 comes out next year. That release date is still sound. Spider-Man 2 is a 2023 game. The game with Venom and shit. I think Zelda. It's fucking Zelda, man. It's Zelda. Zelda, I can't tell you why it's gonna win. All I'm telling you is that Zelda's going to win. Best esports game. Best esports athlete. Best esports team. Best esports coach. Best esports event. Evo didn't even have a big enough award to have a picture of its award. Look at all these extravagant pieces of shit they have over here. Evo didn't even get like a giant uppercut going into somebody's ass or something like that. They did not. Didn't even get a shot of the award because I don't know if the Evo award is big enough. It needs to be bigger. I'd like to say that, at least for me personally, this is a pretty obvious pick, right? Evo is, you know, clearly a big part of my life and everybody else's life. But I will say, just based on 2022 as a whole, as we're getting close to the end of the year and thinking about the best events, Evo was the best tournament event I ever had on my channel, right? Of like watching and being a part of a tournament but not participating or being at the event itself. Evo, for me, believe it or not, ended up being some of the best streams I've ever had. And here's a weird one, because I had never streamed an Evo before. In the 14, 15 years I had been going to Evo, I had never, and the 10, you know, actually almost 9 years that I've been streaming, I have never actually streamed an Evo, because I've always been there. I've streamed Farm Evo, but streaming the event and like restreaming it and being a part of it from home and bouncing between events and streams and watching Dragon Ball Finals essentially act out an entire arc of the actual series and being there for it, I have never restreamed Evo before. And that ended up being the biggest event of, probably the biggest event of this entire year for me. I averaged 60,000 viewers. It felt like the entirety of the internet like chose my channel to be the main resource of watching it outside of even the mainstream itself for like 3 days. It was genuinely crazy. So it presents to me a unique situation where I have to like think about Evo next year. Do I go to the event and have a relatively big impact at the event and do the same thing we've always done at the Evo events? Or do I stream it from home and reach, you know, even more people that I never even thought I would, because I've never been home to stream it? Anyway, Evo, it's obviously Evo for my pick, but it's just that Evo I'm personally attached to because somehow in some way I became like a huge resource for keeping up on Evo and restreaming it. So it was huge. It was absolutely massive for me. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that's the last one. And I just have nothing to say about any of this stuff. I just have no clue or anything to say about any of this. These other esports things, I just don't. There's not one fighting game person there. And you know why there is no specific fighting game person or fighting game thing on any of these? And it's because of this. This was a pretty dry year for fighting games. At least last year had Guilty Gear Strive, right? And that was kind of big, right? This game launched about exactly as I thought it would. In fact, I made a video a few weeks before it that was sort of expecting its fate to be what its fate was. And it was exactly that. The same thing for KOF 15 kind of happened too, where it ended up being the game it is, a fantastic fighting game, but largely catered towards classic fighting game players, and not a ton to do in the game, just like this game. And this is just a 10-year-old fighting game with some new bells and whistles. And this is obviously a pretty big release that they're still expanding upon, but it's clearly like there is still no character I really want to play in Multiverse. There's still not one character that makes me want to like jump in and, you know, love it in the same way that there's a Smash Brothers, right? And then this just doesn't fucking count. So of course, in the esports categories, there was no giant exemplary moments that solidified fighting games as esports, as largely respected esports franchises next to all of these personas, people, and games they represent, you know? I think this can absolutely change next year because next year we are obviously getting Street Fighter 6, and next year we likely could be getting Tekken 8, and next year we likely could be getting a new NRS game, and next year we could likely be getting Project fucking L. I think 2023 is going to be an absolute metric huge year for fighting games. Almost too much, in my opinion. I feel like there might already be a little too much that is going to be dropping in a very short period of time. That's the only thing I'm actually kind of concerned about. So anyway, that was my takes, but if we're to boil it back, I don't think There's very few situations I see Elden Ring losing anything in here outside of maybe best music. Elden Ring wins this one. God of War wins this one. God of War wins this one. I think God of War might win more overall, but the big nom will eventually land on Elden Ring, in my opinion. Actually, I don't think Elden Ring or God of War take this one, funny enough. I think it's still fun, weirdly enough, go to Gran Turismo 7. Best score in music, probably to Xeno shits. Elden Ring gets... No, well, let's be honest. I want Scorn to win. It's not going to win. I want Scorn to win this. It's not going to win. I think this is the one that Horizon could possibly take. I think Horizon could take this. I think Scorn deserves it. I think Scorn is like the underdog here, obviously. I feel like if Horizon does surface the deep, dark waters that is the Game Awards 2022, and attempts to pull something out of this entire event, because it does deserve something, right? I think it might get best art direction. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to win this one. This is actually probably the biggest toss-up for me. I want Scorn to win, but I don't know which one's going to take this. I really don't. Best narrative, that's definitely going to God of War. Best game direction, that's likely also going to God of War, but Game of the Year is going to Elden Ring. This is going to be like those years at the Oscars where some movie just sweeps the shit out of everything. Best director, you know, this fucking thing. And then they're like, best movie of the year, best picture. And then they're like some other fucking thing. Like, what? And usually it lines up with like the best director gets the best movie, right? But I think that will be different. I think God of War is going to do very good at this Game Awards, but it's not going to win Game of the Year. I think that Elden thing is going to take it. And I really hope Miyazaki's probably not even going to be there. We all pretty much have a strong emphasis of Elden Ring winning Game of the Year. I think I should be betting right now, if somebody clipped this shit, at least 50 gift subs. Let's bet 50 gift subs that Miyazaki is actually there. Yeah, we want him to be there. 50 gift subs that Miyazaki is actually there to go on stage to take steps, where it's not just some general Bandai Namco person. 50 gift subs if he shows up and his face is on the camera and he's a real person. Yeah, 50 gift subs. That'll actually happen, because I would prefer that to happen. I want him to get all these accolades and shit. But the dude's probably like, shut the fuck up. I'm working on 17 games right now. All right. I'm leading this company. I'm working on 17 games. I'm hand animating 90 characters right now as I'm taking this interview. That's the problem with Miyazaki, is that he's too fucking busy for this award shit. Yeah, Miyazaki is the Miyazaki of the games industry, right? He's the Hayao Miyazaki of the video game industry. Funny enough, they have the same goddamn name. Shut the fuck up with this industry bullshit. I'm too busy designing this boss fight to be absolutely abhorrent.